And we are live. It is such a pleasure to be back. Welcome to Live at 5, Sunday Live at 5 with me, Nadine. I am the broker and founder of Amazing Journey Realty, where we are committed and driven for your success. And without further ado, we want to get right into it. But before we do so, actually, a reminder to like, subscribe, share this information that can be useful for someone who might be of need of this kind of information as they navigate their future in real estate, whether it's buying, selling, investing, a topic, whether what we're going to be doing or what's was done might be beneficial for them. So please share as far and wide as you can these episodes. So let's get to it. This week episode, I would like to speak to something that I keep seeing from Realtor.com that's connected to the forecast. That's the real estate market forecast for 2025. And it has a nice little twist to it. I mean, kind of, for me, funny. It says mortgage rates partly sunny. Okay. Um, home prices cloudy. And home sales sunny. Okay, so on that basis, I've decided to base my topic on the market and what we are to expect, more or less. Mind you, it's hard to predict a market like this because of the anomaly of the COVID period, the pandemic period, and what happened before the pandemic, and what's happening now, leading to a more normalcy, right? So there are several factors that we have to take into consideration that could impact the real estate market and how it could affect buyers and sellers. And remember, sellers are also buyers. One of the challenges that we are having is that some sellers are reluctant to sell for obvious reasons. Market mortgage rates are much higher than it was pre-pandemic, albeit the changes that we're seeing in terms of a stable mortgage rate or higher than normal mortgage rate, but somewhat stable, is due to the fact that there is a need to for things to get to a normalcy where inventory, home prices, and the demand plus supply can somehow connect in such a way where the market can be far more what's the best word, equitable for all, if that's a better word to use, right? So essentially, the forecast for this year is looking pretty stable, in my opinion. I have looked at various trends that I've seen throughout the years. I mean, economic trends as well. But then there's also the fact that things are not necessarily how it has been if you were to look at perhaps pre 2008 or during the period where the real estate market wasn't doing so wonderful because there were so many homes that were so-called underwater, meaning their mortgage rates due to the financial fallout in 2008 thereabout, the market had actually crashed. And as a result, a number of homeowners had to recover from that. Now, the good news, the pandemic period caused somewhat of not somewhat, it definitely caused home prices to appreciate in value, which was good for home sellers, for homeowners. However, the typical trend was that home sellers would pretty much change homes or upgrade or downsize or do something within 5 to 15 years, right? So what has happened now is that homeowners, due to several factors, mortgage rates one, home prices going up two, and selling is not a problem because you're selling at an appreciated value than if you were between 2010 and even 2020, 2019, 2020, right? However, most home sellers will say, okay, I can sell my home, but then I'm going to be in that quandary as to, you know, getting those higher mortgage rates in order to buy something else. And therefore, there lies within the challenge where we're still having inventory issues or challenges, right? But in every challenge, there's an opportunity. And therefore, there is still something to still look forward to for home buyers, because again, bear in mind, we will always need to buy and sell homes. All right, it doesn't matter what a rate is, it is possible to actually get something that you need and still be able to sell a specific home that you may have, or stay within that property. Again, it's the decision is yours, but we understand that some individuals may need to sell because of the family dynamics might have changed, whether it's by default or it's something that they cannot control. You know, there are several reasons. So basically, we have to bear in mind that the forecast for this year is based on several factors. Now, the federal government typically sets, they don't set, they influence the interest rate. And typically, what the federal government does is to try to curtail inflation. And what happened during the pandemic period, I still call it the anomaly period. House prices were just rising rapidly because the demand was there, mortgage rates were low, and so many people were going after so few homes, and therefore it drove up the price. So the federal government tried to curtail that by having a higher interest rate to kind of slow down consumption, then, in a sense, right? And to also slow down the rapid increase of home prices. So the question is, will home prices remain, continue to escalate? It is possible. And in some markets, you will find the prices of homes still going up. And that is connected to the fact that there is more demand for very few inventory, meaning very few homes that are for sale within that specific area. And therefore, yes, you're going to still see home prices going up. All right. And I think that's part of the reason, too, where you find the federal rates have remained the same. But drawing back to my previous statement, that the federal government does not set the mortgage rate, okay? It influences the rates that a financial institution would charge you. But they have their markups, and each financial institution is different. So therefore, it's always good for a buyer to shop around, understand what is in it for you. All right. Also, bear in mind that the rates that you may see advertised online, whether they talk about a decrease or an increase, it may not impact you, because remember, there are other things that one has to consider, and the financial institution will have to consider in order to determine what rate of mortgage that you would pay to borrow the loan for that property. All right. So some of these would include your credit score. So the lower the credit score, the higher the interest that you're going to be paying for that specific mortgage. The higher the credit score, then the likelihood you're going to have lower mortgage rates, right? So you have to bear those in mind. Also, if you're going to be purchasing, take into consideration your down payment. So the higher the down payment, the likelihood, the less that you will pay on a monthly basis. So these are different factors that one would have to take into consideration when you are impacted by a mortgage rate. So do not see it that, okay, because you see that mortgage rate has been reduced by 25 basis points, based on not mortgage rate, the federal government says, okay, we're going to be reducing mortgage rates at X. It doesn't mean that it's going to reflect in what you see. All right. So there's several factors that you need to understand, both on your own part as well as what happens on the back end and what we see on the news every day. So essentially, that is my prediction that rates will continue to edge up bit by bit. For the most part, it's stable. We're not seeing mortgage rate going down anytime soon, but it shouldn't preclude you from selling. And it goes back to what the Realtor.com statement says, that house sale will still be sunny, right? Because life happens and we will still need to do what we need to do when we need to do it. There was an era where interest rates were far more than it is right now. So just bear in mind that a drastic change in interest rate, in other words, if you are sitting at home waiting for the interest rates to go down to what it was pre-pandemic period, then expect house prices to escalate even more. Okay. And another fold to it, if it is that you decide that all of us are going to be selling properties at the same time because, for whatever reason, bear in mind, if there's more inventory on the market, then the prices will go down as well. So any drastic change can have a positive as well. No, it can have an adverse effect on you, the consumer. All right. So bear those in mind. I would say that right now, here and now, is still a great time to buy and sell. When it's stable, the market is still stable. I would say go for it. You need to purchase, you need to sell for whatever reason, personal reason that you have, go ahead and do it. For me, the forecast, I would still say it's the best time to sell and to buy. With that said, I hope that your specific goal will be realized for 2025. And don't fear, fearing the unknown doesn't necessarily make things better. We have to try to understand the present and see what are the opportunities that exist within the present, right? And there are opportunities. Actually, funny enough, I do have a listing that is on the market. And funny enough, because there are some misconceptions out there. There's a listing that I have on the market, and that specific listing, it is what it is. However, there is nothing outside of what it is to prevent someone from getting it. But because it's on the market for a little longer than normal, buyers will automatically question what is wrong with this property, right? So until you go, you won't know. And therefore, I recommend for buyers. The election period, the holidays could have caused some listings, some properties to be sitting on the market a little longer. It doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong or drastically wrong with that property, right? And therefore, I recommend still go out, look at those inventory that you see, and determine from there whether it suits you and your specific need. Okay, so even though there's not much inventory, whatever is available could still be your dream home and therefore make it work for you. All right, so with that said, I did promise I'm not going to stay long. Want to just wish you all the best for 2025. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to DM, write. I'm still navigating these social media aspect, but whatever it takes, email. I think my details are in my bio. You can just email or call in order to garner specific details. Next week, I'm going to be speaking on agency agreements. The industry has changed somewhat. That's the real estate industry has changed somewhat, and therefore I would like to address some issues that might be helpful for both sellers and buyers. And remember, sellers are buyers, and therefore it's helpful for everyone to, as much as you can, learn in order to be successful in what you do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this if you see that this will be beneficial for someone who's about to take on this real estate journey and would like to do it successfully. All right. So with that said, my my motivation for the week. I will not leave out my motivation for the week. And with that said, I'm going to share this with you. It says here, allow your dreams a place in your prayers and plans. God given dreams can help you move into the future He's preparing for you. Again, whatever is your specific belief, right? Put that towards your dream, right? Your prayers. Put it in your prayers, and it will all work out on your behalf. Again, action also works, right? And therefore, I recommend that we take action on whatever goals and plans that we have for 2025. And with that said, thank you again for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next week as we discuss more real estate topics. And yes, there's more to come. Talk soon. Have a blessed and amazing week. Take care. Bye.